We cutting loops.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. It's time for another episode of DWMOD. That's Disagree With Me or Don't. Hey, this week we got special guest Dunbar Dicks filling in for Andy. We're talking Final Four. We're giving you our picks. We're talking about Major League Baseball and the umpire machines they're using. We got some WWF starting lineups, Pistons, Red Wings. It's all coming up, baby. Stick around and let's roll. College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down, put,
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
ready,
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Oh, Louis, bring him in. I'm not redoing it. Bring him in. There we go. There we go.
Hey, Louis, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. We're not going to redo it, man. He spilled his coffee and he's got a nasty one in there. He said, "Well, look, Dunbar's got his in the cup with a straw. Let's try that next time."
I got a little big gulp out. You can't see it because Neyland Stadium's in the background.
Well, they're not sponsored by 7-Eleven, so we're not allowed to show that anymore. I think that's the deal there, brother. Oh man. Listen, Final Four. It's tournament time, man. I gotta ask you, how is your bracket?
Well, you know, I view my bracket as like a work of art. You know, like I'm Jackson Pollock. I'm up there just kind of dabbling in paints. You know, I'm a homer. I picked Tennessee to win it all. But
Okay,
I really do
right.
think that your bracket setting is like an existential exercise in realizing how little control you have over the universe and how the world is just endless chaos. That's really how I view it. It's just like a philosophy lesson on life.
I don't, man, not so much this year.
No,
We were
not so
talking
much
about
this
on
year.
Our preview this year. I was like telling Andy, and he sort of agreed. And I'm like, the mid majors are dead. You guys all saw our last video on social media.
Yeah.
They killed the mid majors with the NIL. I'm not going to get into all that, but I just stuck to my guns of, you know what? I'm just going to pick the good teams this year. I'm not picking any Cinderellas. I'm not picking any of that nonsense. So yeah, I missed out on Iowa, but still, that's a Power 5 team. You know, they
Yeah.
made it to the Elite Eight. Big
Tennessee
deal.
was a little bit of a surprise getting into the Elite Eight.
Yeah. We had fun with them on the show. We had a little bit where they were going to get bounced out early as always. And
Andy
with
hates
Barnes,
Tennessee.
he hates Barnes. He hates Barnes, man.
Well, Barnes might not be back next year. He's old.
He may not. He may not. But
It's
look
a
at
good young team,
I'm
though.
feeling good about my bracket, Dunbar. I'm feeling good about
Yeah.
my bracket. I'm in 2 pools. I'm in first place in both.
Wow.
I have Arizona winning it all, which now I'm a little nervous about because Michigan is looking really, really, really good, as Tennessee found out.
Yeah, Michigan looks really good. It's the bigs, man. It's like they got those bigs on the floor. They had some crazy statistic on offensive rebounds. It was like bonkers. Like they're just controlling the boards completely.
Yeah, and the guards do such a good job on the perimeter too. That it's like,
exactly.
I mean, they're playing really well. How quickly did you know you were out of that game?
Oh, like in that first half run when they like went up like 10 points. I was like, okay. Like right at the end of the half, you're like, oh man. Because I like tuned in maybe 6 minutes in and I was like, wow, we're tied. We're in the lead. And it just fell apart. I mean, Tennessee's got some young talent, but you know, you could see it on the field. You know, there's some games where you like hold out hope. You're in the underdog and you're like, we're scrappy. We can do it. The moment you started to see how dominant Michigan was, how dominating their team was, you're like, watching was like, oh, they're in a different league. It was in minutes. You're like, oh, we're going to get torched.
And to me, it's like, it's the way that they're surgical with the dominance. And they're not one of these like high energy teams that's flying and dunking and lobbing and just sucks the life out of the building. They're just like, we're going to keep punching you in the fucking face until you quit.
They're scary because they're like,
man.
There's no hype in it. They are methodical.
Yeah.
They're like a machine. They're just killing.
You just quickly realize like, oh shit, we're not we don't have a chance today. Not
I
at
mean,
all.
that, we'll talk about this later, but that Arizona Michigan game, I mean,
That's going to be killer. It's going to be
the
killer.
championship.
This Michigan team reminds me a lot of like the Leitner and Duke teams. Where it was like everybody was always like, oh, overrated. They're not even flashy. They're not hype. Bring them in here. And then 10 minutes into the game, you're like, holy shit, these guys are like really fucking good, man.
Yeah. They're so good. They don't have to be flashy. But Arizona's also really good. It's really going to depend on if Arizona's offense goes to sleep like they did in the last game.
Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to get into that on a little segment of All Right Bet at the end of this damn thing here. Major League Baseball, the season has started. Guys, you know what we're doing on the show. We do it every single year. We'll give you 6. Check all the social media sites. I give you 6 picks every single day of the baseball season, guys. Every single day in the morning, I'm giving you 6 picks that I'm laying bets on that day. So far this year, Dunbar, right now, I think we are 25-8. 25-8. No, 26.
Wow.
26-8.
Wow.
Louis, you're right. 26-8. We gave a bonus pick out yesterday. Right before the game started, the Rangers announced DeGrom was going to pitch, and we jumped on that one. So 26-8 right now. You can tune in every day. I'm giving you those. I'm not telling you to play a 6 parlay. You guys know how it works. Give you 6 games. You be smart. 2-3 teamers. Make your mixes, your matches. Play little $5 parlays. It's a marathon, baby. We're trying to make money by the end of the season. We're not trying to make money by Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying that's the gist. That's the gist. Well, anyway, go ahead, check that out, man. Get on there. Major League Baseball. We're going to get into the balls and strikes here. I'm sure you've been paying attention to that, Dunbar. But before we get there, let's get to some crimes against sports brought to you by True Laundry Detergent. What just happened is brought to you by True Laundry Detergent. It's a locally owned company, and these fellas live in the neighborhood. They're saving you money. That's 101 loads in one bag. They got laundry detergent and fabric softener. They've even got dry sheets for you. Got sensitive skin, they've got the free and clear. No fragrances, no dyes, no additives. Well, if you don't like liquids, they've even got the detergent sheets. Just drop one in every load. There's 60 loads in that box. Just head on over to thetrueproducts.com for all your laundry needs. And don't forget to use your code CUTTINLOOSE1 to get you 10% off your first order. That's True Laundry Detergent. It's Gordon approved. Buddy, I know you're wondering, where's Gordon? Everybody's last week as well. Where's Gordon? Where's Gordon? Gordon got a little touch of that HV1, buddy. He's 78 years old. He's recovering. We're on a little hiatus for some new Gordon videos turning a corner here from MLB. So we wish you well, Gordon. And it's not a contract dispute. There was some stuff out there's not a contract dispute. Happy part of the family here. Happy part of the family here, man. Wow. So get well, Gordon. Bring it back, and let's hit these crimes against sports. It's crimes against sports. Now, listen. Yeah, I love it. I love
that graphic.
It's like he's so fucking safe. Jim Joyce, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? God, it's just painful to look at every time. Anyway, you know what else is painful right now? Hockeytown, baby. Hockeytown and the Detroit Red Wings. I mean,
it's been hockey down for a while.
It's been, man, it's like the 80s when we were the Dead Wings or something, man. But this is Hockeytown, Dunbar. This is crimes against sports. We may not make the playoffs again. Now, let me break this down. Like, we haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. Now, before that, we had the longest streak in the history of professional sports, 25 straight seasons making the playoffs, multiple Stanley Cups. 10 years without being in the playoffs for the Red Wings in the NHL is like the Packers going 10 years without getting it. The Yankees going 10 years without being in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, that's Lakers 10 years, no playoffs.
Celtics.
Come on, man. Right. I mean, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And right now we're staring down the barrel of that. And here's how this went down. As of January 22nd, okay, January 22nd, Dunbar. That means there's like 2 months left in the season, roughly 25 games left in the season at that point. We're in first place of the Atlantic Division. First place in the Atlantic Division. As of last night's loss to the Penguins, we are now outside the wild card for the Eastern Division. Not even in the playoff right now as it stands, with I think 6 games left, maybe 6 or 7 games left. We're 2 games or 2 points back of the Blue Jackets, but so are the Philadelphia Flyers and the Ottawa Senators. So we got a work cut out for us, man. What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, look, I'm gonna full disclosure, I'm not a big hockey guy. My wife is actually the hockey fan in the family. So she worked for the San Jose Sharks when she was in high school. She's like a big time hockey girl, which is
love
great.
the Sharks up there, buddy. They love them.
They do love the Sharks. And
it's awesome up there.
But I mean, I think it's weird because you tell me, it's like, are you guys in a rebuild? No. This is supposed to be your window. This is really your window. You got a couple of players that are like getting a little older, 28, 29 years old. You have a good young farm team, but I don't know if like Yzerman is the guy. And I think that a lot, he's been there since 2019. I get it.
Careful now.
But I think emotionally, you guys are too tied to him. Promote him up, get him out of the GM role. How long has your coach been there? How long has he been there?
This is his first or second season. They swapped the coaches already.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Stevie, though. This isn't just brought him in because he was our, during that 25-year period, he was the guy. He's one of the greatest to ever lace him up in hockey.
Yes.
But that's not it. I mean, look what he did down in Tampa Bay. He went down there and took over Tampa Bay when they were a joke of the league, and now they're what the Red Wings were in the late 90s, early 2000s. They're dominant. They have multiple cups. He built that. So I don't know. He knows what he's doing. I just don't know what's going on here. It's epic fall offs every year. Like, we're way out in front playing really good hockey, and then come March, it's like, forget it, man. We're done.
But how many guys do you have past the front line? I mean, like, that really can, in the stretch, can step up. And
we don't have those good checking lines of the late 90s and the early 2000s with the Malpes and we just don't. We just don't. Draper, guys like that. We don't have a few of those guys. You're right. That's a good point. We could use a guy to get hot in the playoffs for us. Larkin getting injured was kind of a big deal and a bunch of losses. But in that stretch after January 22nd, 8, 12, and 5. Like, we've been one of the worst teams statistically across the board, goals against, goals for, power play in the league. Like, I don't know. I can't.
Do you guys think it's a coach. I mean, it's a depth thing, and it's certainly like, you got a lot of guys that can play, top line guys, but I don't think you have role players that can come in and kind of hold the line and at least get you 500. Get you to 500 on those stretches when you're losing stars. My question is like, if you squeak into the playoffs, can you make a run?
That's the thing. This team
bounce in and out, and you get bounced out.
The way they're playing right now, I don't think any team in the league is feeling like, we hope the Red Wings don't get in. They're like, they fucking suck right now. They hope they do. But in the back of their mind, they're like, but for 4 months of the season, this was one of the better teams in the league. Maybe we don't want to get them in the playoffs, and then they finally wake up. You don't want to, I don't know. Down the stretch here, we got 2 games against the Flyers and 1 against the Blue Jackets. Those are 3 big games. We'll need to win all 3 if we want a chance to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. Listen, if the Red Wings don't make the playoffs for a 10th straight year, crimes against sports. This is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Let's jump into some quick hits, Louie. Let's go. All right, buddy. Major League Baseball. I know you've been tuning in a little bit. The new balls and strikes, the ABS, automatic ball strike system that they're using. What's your take on it, man? How do you feel about it?
I love it. I mean, like, let's put it in the grand scheme of things. One, Major League Baseball has done a lot to make the sport more palatable, especially younger people. They've shortened the games, and I think that has actually worked out really well. The games are now averaging about 2 hours and 40 minutes, as opposed to like 3.5 hours. I was at like a Dodgers game. It was like 4 hours long. I was ready to leave. I was just like, get me out of here. Dodgers fans, being Dodgers fans, were like falling asleep in the stands. And they've done a lot to improve the viewer experience of watching the game. I think there are a couple of things about this the instant replay system that's really fun. It's like I saw a game. It was rule to strike. The batter's box was like they showed the batter's box, and it was, I swear to God, it was like that much, and it was a ball. It was that much out. It was a ball. And it's kind of video games a little bit, parts of the game. I can understand, like, you know, in terms of what's getting overturned, the umpires are actually being kind of vindicated a little bit, I think. But I think that, like, there's something about it. It's very fast. It's very clean. I'm curious about the rules, though. Are players the only ones that can challenge?
Yes. So let's explain that for everybody really quickly, because that is the part of it that I really like. This is not a thing. This is not like challenging a play on the bases where in the dugout, they can go look at the video and see if they want to challenge or not, and then make a decision. On the balls and strikes, only the hitter or the pitcher catcher can make the challenge. It can't come from the dugout, and it has to be immediate. Like, they have to make the choice if they're challenging or not on the spot. That I like. We don't have cameras,
and they have limited challenges, right?
That's right. So there's only 2 per team, and if you're right, you retain it, and if you're wrong, you lose it. So if you keep winning your challenge, you get to hold the 2, but as soon as you have 2 unsuccessfuls, you're done for the game. Now, this I like the way they're doing this. I think this is one thing I think that they kind of got right here.
Yeah.
Because what you were touching on, it's also makes the game a little fun to watch, and that is a problem for the younger generations and our baseball fans. The game, we covered this on the show before. I'm not gonna get long-winded, but overcompensating the home run hitters made baseball boring. Everyone's striking out. The game sucked. Then they changed all these rules to put extra base runners on to try to get some action so people will watch. That's what this is doing. Yes. I mean, these guys are challenging, and it's instantaneous. They don't go under the hood. It's instantaneous. The guy taps his hat. The umpire stops for a second. He's challenging the call. And within like 12 seconds, he's like, ball overturned to a strike. Or they're like, strike is confirmed. And we're done. It's that fast, and we're done. I love it.
And you get to see it on the screen, and it's great. I think here's my worry about it. Okay. Because it seems so far successful. We haven't yet seen this in a high stakes game. We haven't seen it in a World Series. We haven't seen it where it's like a one run game and it gets in. I am waiting for the moment where like some egotistical batter loses challenges for their team because they keep going, no, man, that was a ball, you know, whatever it is. I just can't wait. And that's the thing about baseball. Baseball is about those personalities. It's maybe like the most human American game. You know, there's no clock, there's no structure, there's no, you know, you have an inning, you could play for 8 hours if
Here, to your point, baseball is the only sport that has what I'm going to call building intensity. Like every other sport, you get instantaneous intensity. Like the ball snapped in football, and if a guy's got a personality, he's trucking somebody in 1 second. Basketball, you're taking it over somebody and dunking on them right now. You know what I mean? Hockey, you guys drilling somebody into the boards. But baseball, the pitcher's staring you down, and he's generating that intensity over slow burn, and the batter the same thing. It's a slow burn and then the explosion. You know, it's different from other sports in that way.
It's different than other sports, and it's kind of unique in other sports. Look, viewership has increased like 9% since they started making these changes. You know, the small ball, I'm not like a total Billy Bean small ball guy. Like, I like manufactured runs. I think that's a really exciting part of the game, but I like a home run every now and then. Give me a guy who's hitting, 35 home runs, 40 home runs a year on my team. I love it,
Give me a team like the Cardinals lineup this year where, like, as a team, they're hitting over 300. That's old school. The average in the Major League Baseball recently has been like under 225 as a team. Abysmal. But give me a team like the Cardinals this year. Like, they got a couple guys that could bomb home runs, but they're hitting over 300 as a team. I'll watch them over like watching a team like Oakland who, like, one game they're going to score 9 or 12 runs because they got a couple guys that can just clock homers. But other than that, Phillies, they got guys that are going to bomb homers. But if they don't get some home runs, they lose the game 4-0.
But I think what's good about this new mechanism in the game is that it shows that the people who are in charge of making these rules to some extent understand that what makes baseball special, that it's players making the decisions, that it's happening on the field. Because so much of what happens, what I don't want it to turn into is like some guy in the press box looking down at the thing and calling it in, and like football.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not that.
right.
The manager's in the dugout, spit and
Yep.
chew. Like
Let's move this
everything's
along.
happening on the field, and it's got to stay that way.
Yep, you're right about that point, man. It's for sure. And the decision to do that, to leave it right there, is great. Here's the thing I like about the ABS system in Major League Baseball this year the most, and it's the vindication of the umpires. They have been absolutely vilified in the last 20 years of how bad they are, right? They're so bad. They're terrible. It's abysmal. Okay, well, then they're pushing the numbers on us on TV. We're like, oh, they're having 50% of their calls overturned. So it's kind of showing that they're 50% right and they're 50% wrong. Slow down your narrative, everybody. The wrong 50% of the time means the other 50% of the time, the crybabies at the plate who are whining about calls were also wrong. Their dramatics were unwarranted. They were wrong. And to a point you made earlier here, Dunbar, most of these calls are 1/10 of an inch. We're starting to see how good these umpires really are, because every call is like right on the bubble. And you want to rake these guys over the coal for missing that? Stop.
I mean, in an era where, the NBA has its challenges in terms of validity, right? Like we're a little, there's some cheating stuff happening all over the NBA. There's been people are suspicious about a lot of the refereeing happening in the NFL, especially around quarterback play and being able to hit the quarterback. It seems like it's an art form as opposed to like really like being technical. The rules seem vague in a way that advantages offenses and superstars like the NBA. Baseball is making a move here that actually brings some validity to the sport. And in this overabundance of gambling where the lines are getting blurred between the leagues and the gambling companies, I think this is like a really positive effort. I honestly think like we're probably one big scandal away from, and maybe one presidential election away from having some serious regulation on sports activity for fraud, preventing these sports companies and even some of the companies that like ESPN who are in 100%. Business with the sports companies and also in business with the 100%. Gamblers. There's got to be some kind of division. It's going to corrupt the sports.
This is a very in-depth conversation we definitely need to have sometime for sure, because I've got a lot of thoughts and I agree with you 100%.
For the other podcast.
That's it. Now let me say this. Last thing about the ABS system. Everybody is very worried that like, well, here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want them to just go to the electronic umpire. I don't want it to be just balls and strikes called on that. And let me tell you, you're having a stupid conversation. That will never happen for every reason we both just talked about, Dunbar. They're trying to make the game more watchable. If you switch it to just the electronic umpire in the box on the screen and you're just watching a game that's going ball, strike, we want the guy tapping. We want the challenge. We want the like it makes good television. It makes for dramatics.
The fighting.
Everything about it. They are never going to just go to the robot people ever. It's theater.
You mean to tell me you're going to remove the Tommy Lasorda manager archetype running on to the fucking field, bumping bellies with you gotta have that. It's baseball,
bro. They made a great little thing that makes the game a little more interesting in the small moments where you start to lose focus. It's working. It's excellent. They're never going to go to just automated umpires. So just don't even worry about it, man. And
maybe honestly, they give them one extra challenge to see, depending on how this all plays out.
I mean, we'll figure it out. But right now, I kind of like it at 2. But look, this is kind of like quick hits. This thing really worked and bleeding into no way. They're not going to get rid of the umpires, guys.
No way. There's no way. No way.
All right. On that note, no way. Who thought that the Pistons would be the number 1 seed in the East when the season started this year? Nobody. Furthermore, who thought that the Pistons would be the number 1 seed after that guy on the left went down? Cade Cunningham goes down, and they're still the number 1 seed in the East. How shocked are you, Dunbar?
Yeah, I mean, look, I will point out this is a great episode for you, Mike, because we got a lot of Detroit news.
It's that time of year in Detroit is back, baby.
You know, I do think there's something about the NBA when the Pistons are good. It feels right. You know, it does. It feels right.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is Cunningham's injury prognosis? Is he out? Like, is he going to?
They said he should be. Well, he could probably come back before the end of the season with like a game or 2 or 3 maybe left if he wanted to push it. But they're just saying like we're just going to wait till the first round, and then if we wind up with the number 1 seed and it's 1 versus 8, he may even take a couple games off in that just to get right.
But you guys are 6 games up, right? On the
and
Celtics
5 games left.
I mean,
we've got the 1 seed locked up, so he may sit a couple games into 6-2 since he went out. 6-2 with the only 2 losses coming to the hottest team in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. They've been the hottest team in the NBA, and a buzzer beater. We lost that game, and the other game in overtime to OKC.
Yeah,
without Cade Cunningham, and people are telling me this team can't win the title.
Is Cade Cunningham? I guess the question really comes down to is like, is there without a doubt Cade Cunningham is a bona fide superstar at this point?
He was a bona fide MVP candidate till he got hurt.
I understand that.
Legitimately in the conversation.
Yes, I agree. But it's just like, is the ascension complete? And I think you can't write that story until we see what happens in the playoffs. I mean, if he can get his team to the finals, that is really the test of like, this guy is it was the same with Giannis, great player, MVP candidate. He got his ring. He got into the championships. He showed up, in the playoffs. Like, again, it's like, let's see. I would rest him. But I mean, I think it's exciting. I think it's nice that so much of my problems with the NBA, other than the fact that there's like no fucking defense and the rules seem like they don't exist all the time. When you watch the games, it's like, how's that guy taking 6 steps?
Yeah.
I really do think there needs to be some reforms to the game, which include maybe eliminating the corner 3 and pushing the 3-point line back a little bit to get more play inside the paint. But I do like the way Detroit plays. Like, they feel a little old school, which is right. And I think that it's like, it's nice to see that it just isn't the Celtics fated to win the East, which is what everybody was saying at the beginning of the season. And
as soon as Tatum came back, and the Knicks, let's not forget about the Knicks. And that's going to bring me to my point about Cade, what you were saying, like, but in the playoffs, is he the guy? Is the ascension complete? The ascension was complete last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The way they attacked the Knicks and beat the Knicks, and we got burned on calls down the stretch, 7-game series, took them to the brink. Knicks were the team last year, and we went into the Garden most nights, and we're like, you ain't shit, man. We're just young. Cade showed up every damn night. Last year was the turning point. And then everybody wanted to see this season. Was that real, the playoffs last year? And we're like, oh, shit, yeah, it is. This is the number 1 team in the East now. Now, here, I got one more thing here. Yeah. This is for all the people that I've been arguing with online all season, moving up on the trade deadline with the Pistons. And everybody's saying you want to win a title in the NBA, you got to make trade deadline moves. Like, we should have went and tried to get Giannis, or we should have tried to go get blah, 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 ignorant shit. And then people being like, well, you should have went and got like Michael Porter Jr. Or you should, if you don't make a move, you can't win. And me and a small group of people were all like, no, keep this core. This is their first real run at it. And you already want to bust it up to try to capture this window. Keep this core and see what you got. And everybody argued back, Dunbar, that with this core, who you got? What is this team without Cade? If Cade goes down, you ain't nothing. This team can't do it without him. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like we've got a pretty good fucking core here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fundamental problem with the NBA. And it's a fandom issue too, which is that, like, if you don't have like 5 recognizable names on your team, everybody kind of discredits you and doesn't think that you're, any good. And, and that's just not the way. I mean, look, the Celtics, have a series of bona fide superstars on their team. The LeBron era ushered in this, like, you have to have 3 borderline Hall of Famers on your team to win.
Right.
To win a title, a la the Heat or, the Golden State and Oklahoma when Oklahoma was hot.
Sure.
I think bringing the league back to a little more parity, and now we're having like a little bit better play across the board. It's making the game a little more fun to watch. But no, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's like, it's nice to see some of these teams. I'm a Bulls fan. We're a fucking disaster. Like, what are we?
Yeah.
Like, we're just an absolute
awesome.
mess. It's
awesome.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's
So,
awesome.
but seeing some of these teams actually build from within and like get better with a team and not just like oversized point guards playing every position is great. And
I love the way the Pistons play, man. I love the way Duran and Beef Stew do their thing. They came into Detroit knowing I know my role. I'm one of these guys now, right? Which one do you want to be?
Yeah.
They're like kids in the backyard. I'm Ricky Mahorn. You're Bill Lambier. Okay, cool, man. You know what I mean?
Now in long series, is the shooting consistency going to be there? We'll see.
I mean, Jenkins we've got guys that are playing better than we thought they were going to, and they've earned their spots on the team. They're playing really well. And to all the haters and the boo birds that thought they knew we blew our chance at making it this year by not making that move at the deadline, I do not want to hear from you if we make it to the finals and lose the OKC, or if we even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals since the Cade injury. And you know what I mean? To come just short of making it to the finals, that's where we want to be. We'll roll that into next year. Don't come at me like, told you couldn't win the championship if something happened to Cade. That's every team in the league. If SGA goes out, Oklahoma City ain't winning it. If Wembanyama goes out, Spurs are done. Like, it's just stupid.
I mean, I would sit Cade. I would load manage him in the first round.
Sure.
I would just give him limited minutes, at least in the first couple of games. And just
I maybe wouldn't even play him in the first 2 games. And then if you're up 2-0, you play him in game 3, like about half the game, just to get him moving. And then game 4, you cut him loose. Like, he's got to get game ready.
Get him warmed up.
Yeah. Get rolling in game 4, game 5, no restrictions. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's exciting.
But it's great, man. It's great, man. To everybody that hates on the Pistons.
No way. There's no way. No way.
No way, man. No way, Dunbar. All right, let's take this thing in and knock it off. I got a fun little game that we're going to play in here. But first, we'll just get to it, Louis. We'll get to it.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, Dunbar, I'm upset. We got to knock it off. We got to knock it off with the AI. We have to knock it off with the AI. I'm tired of what everyone is doing with the AI because I'm angry because I can't have this. Look at that thing. WWF starting lineups, Andre the Giant. Look at how beautiful is that fucking toy?
Yeah. Doesn't exist?
No, it's not real. Could you imagine if they made those? Take my money right now. Louis, put that back up one more time. Look at this thing.
It's perfect.
I'd buy every one of these, Dunbar. Would you not?
You gotta buy 10.
Them all?
You gotta buy 10. You gotta buy 5 to keep in the packages and 5 to play with.
Well, you know me too well. But I'm like, who would you want to see? That Andre one's great. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Which guy would you want right out of the gates that you'd be like, I don't even collect these, but I'm buying this?
I'm gonna go deep cut. I'm a big fan of like Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig era.
Hennig,
I don't know if that exists. Like, is that just like a made up series of toy?
Oh yeah, you remember the old starting lineups?
Yeah,
like the baseball. Like Kong's holding one right there. There's one on the wall behind me. So somebody took that and imagined if they made wrestlers and made them. I mean,
Coco Beware. Coco Beware.
Now Coco's a good pick. Come with the bird.
Tito Santana.
I don't know if I'd buy Tito. Macho Man, if Tito came with the tacos like Jesse used to always say, like if you could have a play set where it was Jesse and Tito with his taco cart or whatever, Jesse, I'd buy Jesse Ventura, a Junkyard Dog.
All of them. And Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, man, George Steele. I'd buy the George Steele one in a heartbeat. I'd buy them all.
The Road Warriors. The Road Warriors.
All of them, man. Like
Earthquake, baby. Let's do it.
We could go on and on. I would buy every single one of these. So knock it off with the AI.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, buddy. In honor of the baseball season starting, before we get to our right bet and our NCAA picks, in honor of the baseball season starting, I got a little game for you here. Okay. We're going to take some clips of some of the greatest hitters in the history of baseball. And they're going to be giving you some tips. They're going to be talking about some things. I'm going to play the clip, and I want you to try to tell me what they're talking about. All right, I'm going to cut it short. You tell me exactly what they're talking about. Now, in this first clip here, we're going to have Pete Rose, A-Rod, and Frank Thomas, the big hurt. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Talking baseball, talking hitting.
34, 33.
Never less than 35, never more than 36.
Really?
What? 35, 35, you mean?
No, I use 32, 33.
So what do you think they're talking about?
I think they're talking about the weight of the bat, right?
You think they're talking about the weight of the bat? Yeah.
Or the
you got to use the context
the length of the bat. The length.
You got to use the context clues here, buddy. That's
He's swinging
Pete Rose in the room. That's Pete Rose in the room. They're talking about what the over-under is going to be in the Chiefs-Bills game, man. 33-35. Then Pete Rose is on a 35-33, and then A-Rod's like, you mean 35-35? It can't be 35-33. Right? He's talking over-unders and bets, mate. They're talking gambling, bro. That's what they're doing now. The smartest guy in the room here is Frank Thomas. He ain't saying nothing, man. I'm not getting involved. Pete's a terrible gambler.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to him, man. I'm not listening to him.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, here's one more. Barry Bonds. Here's Barry Bonds. I want you to finish this statement for me.
What are your 3 keys of hitting?
What are your
That's
3
it?
keys to hitting? What do you think Barry Bonds is about to say? Here you go.
What are your 3 keys of hitting?
Barry Bonds going to answer that. How?
HGH.
Ooh, close. You're close. You get the gist of the game now, though. The answer was the cream, the clear, and always make sure you need to wear a bigger hat than you did last season. That's how Barry Bonds answers that question.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
He looks so small in that. Like, he doesn't even look like Barry Bonds.
We all know what was going on. The cream and the clear, man. That's what he was doing there. All right. Good job on that one, Louis. Caught everybody off guard on that one. Good job. I loved it. All right, buddy. It is time. But before we get to these picks for the NCAA and all right bet here now, Dunbar, we're going to break the games down and all that. But you know what we got to talk about for a second here. How are you enjoying the game? What are you doing during and before the games this weekend, man?
Brass monkey, that monkey, brass monkey, chunky.
Yeah, that's right. Get yourself some Old English 800 like Kong right over here. Put some orange juice with it. Have yourself some delicious Brass Monkeys. Enjoy them all weekend with the Final Four action. Dunbar, how many are you putting down on a regular Saturday of sports?
Well, considering I have a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old,
Cut back to 5.
I'm putting down a lot.
I see what you did there. You made it sound like you were going to be responsible, but then you told the truth that they make you want to have extra.
Oh man, the other day I was watching the Tennessee play, and I had a beer on the thing, and Ella picked it. I wasn't even paying attention. She picked it up. She's holding it and going. I was like, don't do that. Mainly because I know she's going to drink it and spit it out and drop it on the floor because it's going to taste gross to her. But,
or she's going to like it and you got bigger problems.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to have a drunk 3-year-old.
You got a drunk 3-year-old and a really mad wife. Mad wife. I'll tell you that right now. All right, man. Let's get to it, man. Hey, Old English 800, the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast and All Right Bet. It's time for another episode of All Right Bet. Kenny the Gambler. All right, Dunbar, game one this weekend. Illinois in the Final Four out of the Big Ten. They are minus 2.5 points to UConn. The over-under here is at 139.5. Now, do you want to give your pick and breakdown of the game first, or do you want to hear my breakdown and then make a choice? I'll give you the option.
I want to hear your breakdown and then make a choice, because this is the one that's kind of got me a little more
Okay.
I just don't know. They played earlier in the year and UConn won pretty handedly, I think by 16 points in the Christmas Classic or something.
Yeah.
But I think that the teams are totally. I think the way they're playing, way Illinois is playing, I think it's a totally different thing. And it's a good offense versus a good defense. So there's a lot.
Yeah. Yep. Well, listen, take that Christmas classic, like midnight basketball, first damn game of the year, pretty much throw that out the window in this one. Illinois -2.5 versus UConn, the over under 139.5. Now, listen, Illinois is going to stick to the game plan for them, right? They are going to spread you out all over the court. They're going to pick you apart, and they're going to score with efficiency. They're the #1 offensive efficiency team in the country. Doesn't mean they score the most points in the country, right? That means they score with efficiency. They are more than happy to slow the game down until they get the shot they want, work the ball, get a good quality shot, and make it efficiently. That's what they do. Now, best defensive team in the tournament. And that sounds crazy because all year long, Illinois' problem has been they're a defensive liability. They don't play very good defense. In the tournament, they have the best point per possession ratio of any team. They're giving up less than 1 point per possession in the tournament. They're playing really good defense, and they're being bullies on the glass. Now, they really bullied Iowa on the glass, but they're not going to bully UConn on the glass, man. UConn is too big and too strong, and they just don't stop coming. Reed is a beast. He's putting down double-doubles like a kid eating candy on Christmas, man. He's making it look real easy down there. Also, UConn been in this situation before, right? Multiple guys on this team have 2 national titles. Looking at winning their 3rd in 4 years. They're comfortable right here. They've been here before, man. Now, I understand that Illinois is really young with some of the guards, but the rest of the team, even if they're young, they're Eastern Europeans. They're raising the game differently. It's very mental. It's very methodical. It's very, fundamentals and things like that. So this is not going to be too big a lost in the lights moment for them compared to some American-born players. I get that.
Yeah.
But they're still not UConn in that moment. You know what I mean? UConn is ready to go. They're not going to quit. We saw that against Duke. Listen, give me UConn and give me the over. Who do you like?
I like the over. I like the over. I think that I agree with you, but my take is just slightly different. You're taking an Illinois team that has some question marks coming into the tournament, and they've made it all the way this far. And typically with teams like that, especially when you're up against Connecticut, you're up against a coach like Hurley, he's going to exploit that. And so with the amount of experience that UConn has, it's just too much. I'm going to take the over. I would take UConn. And I hate that. I hate it. I'm not interested in seeing UConn play in the finals. I'm just not. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do in that situation. I just think there are too many, is Illinois' defense good? Is it? I don't know. I mean, they have been, but it's, they're the underdog. They got to do a lot to be able to, they have to match up against UConn's bigs. UConn has experience. I mean, you laid it all out.
Yep, I'd like to see an all Big Ten final, but we're probably not. Okay, let's jump to the Michigan-Arizona game. But before we do that, if we're discussing gambling tips, we are required by law to play the disclaimer for people who need to be talked to about gambling.
What advice do you have the kids not to gamble?
So with gambling, there's no such thing as losers. There's winners and quitters. So you just got to keep going and just keep, and you got to phone a friend and you borrow money. You borrow from your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and just friends. And then there's no such thing as losing. It's a winning sport. There it is. Thank you.
There it is. You're goddamn right. Let's keep moving. Borrow some money, keep it going. Or you could just tune in to DWMOD Pod on any of your social media sites and get 6 free baseball picks every day to put some money in your pocket. Yeah. You could do that.
Take out a small business loan.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a business. This is a business. Oh, maybe I could take out a little. You think I could get a mark?
Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it.
Buddy, believe me, last year MLB baseball, 580 wins, 340 losses. That's money. We made some money, baby. All right, let's jump on Arizona. -1.5 against Michigan. It's 157.5. So no, that's not right. Michigan's the favorite here. That's not right, Louis. It's Michigan minus 1.5 to Arizona, and the over-under is 157.5. All right, Dunbar, who do you like in this thing?
This is really, these are the two best teams in basketball.
No doubt.
They really are. And so
No
it's
doubt.
like, I mean, you want to say, you don't want to count, if UConn makes it to the finals, you can't count them out really. They're going to show up and be prepared. They're going to play their best basketball. But this is so tough. I would take the over, of course. This is Vegas knows how to do its job.
Yeah, they do.
That's what this line really is that Vegas knows what it's doing. I'm going to take Arizona to win, even though I think Michigan is playing lights out dominant basketball. And we talked about it earlier. It's like they just look like a machine. But Arizona's been the best team in college basketball like all year. I mean, I really do think that. And, you know, other than like kind of going to sleep at the back half of the first half of the last game, they've been pretty great in the tournament. This is going to be their biggest challenge, I think, of the whole tournament. But I'm going to go with Arizona because I think that they've been tremendous. And I'm going to take the over because I think it's going to be, it's the game to watch. I mean, it is the best game. Nothing against Michigan. Michigan is so good, but I just think that Arizona is going to get the best of them. That's all. It's really
Arizona's been the most consistent team all year long. Now they are playing out in the Big 12, which doesn't hold a candle to the Big 10, but still most consistent team all year long. Well, listen, it is Michigan minus 1.5 to Arizona. The over under here 157.5. And let me tell you this, Zona is your typical West Coast basketball team, right? They like to get the rebound, get it running. Within 5 seconds, they want to be down the other side, getting a layup. That's how they play basketball. And that's what Arizona's going to do. And they're good at it. That's their plan. They will wear you out. They're deep and they will just keep bringing it. They are the highest rated Ken Pom team in the last, 25, 30 years, I think. Yeah. They're number 5 in offense, number 3 in defense. So they can do it on both ends. And with that speed of pace, they can really wear you down. And that's what they'll do. They're never out of a game. No matter how much they're down, they're just waiting until you're gassed, and then they start pouring in the points. But here's the thing. Can Michigan get gassed? I don't know. I don't know if Michigan can get gassed, Dunbar, because here's the thing. Michigan is the only team in the tournament that has held all opponents under 40% average, under 40% field goal shooting this season. They're the only team in the tournament. Their defense holds other teams to an average of under 40% shooting. The guards play great, like we talked about earlier against Tennessee and everybody else. The bigs dominate inside. They're deep. They just keep doing their thing. And here's a fun stat for you. University of Michigan's basketball team this year in the tournament, they have in every single game scored at least 90 points, have had at least 15 assists, have dropped 10 3-pointers, and had at least 8 blocks. No other team in the history of the tournament has ever played basketball that well in March Madness. So listen, this is the 2 best teams in the country. This is the national title game. This is the game we all wanted. This is the game we all want to see. This is going to be a lot of fun. Give me Michigan and give me the over. That's where I'm at.
So is Michigan going to come in and play a half-court game and slow the game down and use their bigs? Is that going to be the strategy?
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that they're going to really try to slow the game down and get away from what they do. I think Michigan is in a classic spot right now to go, well, you don't dictate to us how we're going to play because that's how you play. We're going to come out and play the game we play, and you better adjust. We might get breaking and running. We might start swinging and bombing threes. We might start putting it down inside. You better be ready.
Yeah, that's the thing about Michigan is they just can do so much. Yeah. They have so much talent on the court, and they're just capable of doing so much. It's going to be a great game. It is really what if you're going to watch any of these next 3 games, watch this one.
Yeah, it's going to be 100% about adjustments, right? Because Arizona's going to want to get out running, and Michigan's going to be like, "You want to run? Let's run." And if Arizona starts feeling themselves during that run, then Michigan's going to go, "Yeah, you're feeling yourself a little bit too much. We want to slow it down. Let's slow it down. We'll slow it down."
Yeah,
and then they'll slow it down. And it's like
the crazy thing. I'm not I'm not a basketball savant. I like to pride myself as being like an average fan of everything, probably too much of a fan of football. You know, like I have an average intellect. I watch it as a spectator. I don't need to be an expert. So much of basketball is about pacing. Like the exciting thing about basketball is the momentum of the game and managing the momentum of the game. And if you control the pace, you control the game. And that's what's going to be really exciting about this game. So if you're watching the game, it's just like pay attention to those big swings, you know, because they're going to be a lot of runs. People are going to take off. I think it's going to ping pong quite a bit. It might come down to the team with the ball in his hands last, you know.
Very might.
It's going to be fun.
Very well may.
I hope it's a great game. That's really what I'm not a gambler. I hope it's a great game, but I do think Arizona is the safe bet. But I get it. Michigan is also awesome.
Yeah.
I will say this. I guess, are we moving on to the finals game?
No. Just Final Four. Just Final Four.
Just the Final Four. I will say this. The winner of this game is 10-1 odds. I think is going to be the
probably 7-point favorite against you. At least 7.5. That'll be my guess. 7.5 point favorite probably.
And if it's Illinois, it'll be double digits. You know, so it double digit favorite. So
probably.
You know, I think both of these teams deserve to win it. It's going to be fun. It's good.
Yeah.
Good sports. Good sports.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend, man. Check it out. So hey, here's what we take away from today. Go Wings, get your shit together. Pistons ain't sweating nobody, man. And we love to be in that position like we always are. Come and get it. We ain't no good. You're the bad boys. You ain't shit. Come and find out. Find out. And we're going to find out about that. If Michigan wins, I'm going to be really happy. Big Michigan fan. If Arizona wins, my brackets are still cooking and coasting. So, buddy, it's looking like blue skies over here.
Yeah, it's all Detroit. It's all Michigan Detroit show.
Tigers are off to a hot start. McGonagall's the best damn rookie in the league right now. Scooble's going tonight, guys. We're going to be on Scooble tonight, looking for his third straight Cy Young. Baby, Detroit is back. Now, Red Wings, get your shit together, man. Dunbar, thanks for filling in, buddy. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Get some Old English 800, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
We cutting loops.
College football is now B1G versus SEC. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money. All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works.
Yeah, I hope I didn't sound too much like an idiot around that hockey section.
Not at all. You sounded like you knew exactly what was going on. I mean, you did. I mean, everything you said was dead on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's you know, it's amazing what a little bit of research will do before you jump into
that's it.
We cutting loops.